Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and a big sky. This is big sky country. Yeah, we know that's what Montana calls itself, big sky country. We'd just like to point out that Montana is 147,000 odd miles big. Texas, well, we're 268,500 miles huge. Who's got the bigger sky now, Montana? Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. Yeehaw.
And you know it, clap your hands.
Yeah, clappity clap. Hey, hail, hail, the gang's all here.
Oh. In the studio?
They said it would never happen.
They did. We proved them wrong.
Yeah, 2020, what an amazing year, huh?
Hey, you just stayed sick another couple of weeks.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't think
don't even think about it.
Taking that.
You're right.
Jeepers.
So welcome back, Charlie.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
It feels like it's been
in
longer.
The flesh.
It is.
You know what saved me? The balcony.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
Fresh air.
3 weeks in a house by it really does start to get to you.
Oh,
but being able
it.
to go out on the balcony and just look at the world and spread Corona to my neighbors
the walls
was
were
a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish y'all could still have the bird feeder. So maybe you could have seen.
Oh, that would have been nice. But you know, they all run off when you walk outside. So.
That's true.
So, but no, having that balcony, wow.
Yeah.
A real lifesaver.
How many times were you going out there in a day, would you say?
Maybe 2 or 3 times. It's funny, the deeper I got into it, the more cavalier I would get. So early on, I'm fully clothed, and by the end, it's just me in my underwear. I go, life.
Yeah.
So
I would expect nothing less from you.
You're clean shaven.
Yeah,
you weren't when you first came to work.
I had the COVID beard going because when you got Corona, the last thing you care about is shaving your face.
I'm sure.
You know, and I always just figured if I grew it long enough, I wouldn't have to wear a mask.
Yeah,
just filter the stuff
there
out.
You go.
Be honest, you wanted to keep it.
I did. Actually, I did. It was the first time I had a beard since the late 90s.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I thought I was quite styling. And
it was more than flecks of gray.
I wish I could have seen it.
Well, I
in
got
person.
pictures.
Okay,
I got pictures here. I'll show you pictures. But you know, the cool thing as a bald man, who someone who shaves their head, the luxury of it, because I grew my hair, what little I have back, the luxury of being able to shampoo my stubble and then go to the beard and I'm shampooing my beard. And it's like,
got to get some pomade.
There
Absolutely.
Oh,
there I am.
I like it.
Yeah.
I wish you could have kept it.
Well, maybe I married the wrong person. No.
It's like kind of Santa Claus vibes. Like very.
Why couldn't you just keep the little patch?
Was an all or nothing. It was all or nothing with the wife. I got the deal. I could wear it to work my first day back, and after that, it was gone. And it was gone.
I bet that was a spectacular day.
She said it was like kissing a hedgehog. So,
but he didn't do the Willy Wonka rolling in.
No,
none of that. No top hat, no cane.
No,
just a COVID beard.
I forgot.
Ugh.
I forgot.
You didn't
they
jump,
say
hop,
that it
skip
gives
into
you
work.
That brain cloud stuff.
Yeah, I believe that.
It does while you got it. I haven't had that since.
Yeah. That's good. So when did you feel like the clouds start to part? And
one day I just woke up and I hadn't been aware of it previously, but suddenly it felt like I was just taking full breaths of absolutely clean air. Like I was just getting so much oxygen when I breathed, and it was just like sitting on the couch going, oh, breathing is so lovely. I love this breathing thing.
I gotta tell people about it.
Have you heard? Yeah, breathing. That's where it's at. But I think that's where I really kind of turned the corner. I stopped coughing because there was a period where I had recovered, but then I'd cough.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
we got that on tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That went away, and suddenly I could just breathe, and I felt great.
Wonderful.
Felt great.
Awesome.
So it is good to be back in time
for Halloween.
For Halloween.
Yes, the best time of the year.
Is it? Are you a Halloween girl?
I love Halloween.
That's almost like you like to dress up or something.
Yes, I do. It's kind of my thing, Charlie.
Really?
Yeah. I love it.
So, but the band's got something special
we do.
this year.
Yes, and we might be dressing up for that too. That's still a work in progress.
All right.
But yes, this Saturday, October 31st.
Ooh, that's Halloween itself.
We're having our Halloween spooktacular with the 1st Cavalry Division Band. So we're going to be at the Fort Hood Stadium parking lot. So the concert.
wait. Oh,
great.
Hold on. We're going to be at Fort Hood Stadium. The parking lot.
Yes.
So in the parking lot.
It has to be outside and socially distanced.
Okay, so the stadium wasn't socially distanced enough.
No. Well, so you can only have a certain amount of people in a certain square footage.
So you're saying the band was afraid that if they played the stadium, too many people would show up to break the socially distanced guidelines. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's more of you can only have like X amount of people on the stage at a time. And
okay.
Isn't this a drive-up concert too?
It's a drive-in, yes.
That's why it's the parking
lot.
Yes.
Is that where people drive by? I've seen this video on social media. The guy's driving with the car door open, and then you'll be like a trumpet player playing, running around, and then he falls off, and then the drums.
Okay, I have seen that, but no, we're not doing that.
Oh. Well, my interest suddenly just got.
Yes, no, but you're gonna drive in, and you will be socially distanced in the car spaces. So you can bring chairs, you can sit out, you don't have to stay in your car, but we do ask that you turn your car off once you get into
and
place.
the radio off, please.
Yes, no radio, no alcohol. And
well, you're driving.
Yes.
So instead of backlighters, they turn on their high beams.
Hopefully not. Maybe if they like it, they'll just like honk. Because it's like, I think it's so funny because now you can, honking used to be like kind of derogatory, but when you're at a concert or something, you want to like, and now it's indicative of.
And you heard it here
approval.
first. Honk.
Honk. That's right.
So yes, we will be observing CDC guidelines for COVID protocols.
Okay.
So come on out. It'll be a great time.
What are you going to play?
Sounds great.
It's just. So I'm actually not playing it because
what?
Yes, so we can only have a certain amount of people in a condensed area, but I will be the person at the front. So I'll be the first person you see, and I will direct people where to go.
So you're directing traffic.
No, so
you're parking cars.
I'm not parking the car. I have to we have to give them a piece of paper and explain to them the rules when they enter the area. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Isn't that kind of against Corona protocols?
Well, we'll wear masks. We'll have masks.
How does that
on.
stop the transmission on the piece of paper?
Rubber gloves.
You should have a thing of Lysol and just spray it.
I'll wear the gas mask and with my Lolita, which I have done before.
I was imagining her parking cars with a glow stick and the flute. This way.
Yeah.
Yes. That's actually not a bad idea.
I'm full of good ideas.
But I will not be playing the flute, so you will miss out on that.
But back to it. What are they going to play?
I actually don't know all the songs, so I'm not in the rehearsals.
What a useless band member. Make something up.
It's there. I think I heard them playing
the Ghostbusters
Superstition.
Well, I heard from the living editor of the Sentinel who did go to their rehearsal this week, and there's a story on it in the paper.
Oh, okay.
It's rock.
Oh, yes.
Rock.
Really?
Rock.
Monster Mash?
I don't know. I
You got to do the Monster Mash.
Yeah, I don't have the set list.
It was a graveyard smash,
Thriller.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can move it. Dun, dun, dun,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There will be dancing involved. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
alert.
Yeah.
Ooh, are people who attend encouraged to dance along?
Oh, yes. We
Will there be
would
a-
like participation.
Will there
Socially
be a
distanced.
costume contest, possibly?
So this is still possible. It's in the works right now, but it's not set in stone.
So maybe.
Maybe.
But if you're going, why not dress up anyway? It's Halloween.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's the point.
And the band is encouraging you to throw candy at them. Isn't that right?
I don't know if we want candy throw. I mean, I wouldn't mind being given some candy.
No, you just got to toss it at them.
I think a caramel apple would hurt.
Yeah, I think so.
Bring caramel apples
I don't want it to
with
hit
nuts.
the instrument. I would be sad.
Throw it in the tuba.
Oh no. There will be tubas, I think. Maybe.
Such a reliable source of information we've become in my absence.
But she's going to be there.
I'll be there, yes.
Oh, yeah. So if you see Brianna and you listen to the podcast, say something to her.
Yeah,
Say
I love
something,
that.
Which means nobody's going to be talking to you.
I'll mainly be doing the talking out there.
All right. So very good. Well, we wish you luck. We want a full report
Yes. I
on
will.
it next week.
I'm
all right?
excited.
Since you're going to be there. I won't. Will you be
Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
No. I'm going down to Kansas to see the family.
Yeah.
So I won't be there. It's not that I don't want to attend. It actually sounds fun.
Yes.
But I physically will not be here.
Well, I think you're leaving soon, so you need to see your family before you head
That's
out.
true. That's true.
We got to tease the next segment. She's all dressed up.
She
Yes.
is.
I
Tell me
am.
about it a little bit. Because
A
we're going to go
little
into more in
bit?
depth on this one.
Well,
Okay.
Why don't you describe what you're wearing? Start with your shoes and work your way up to the top.
describe what I'm wearing?
Yeah, describe it.
Okay. So I'm wearing a platform like a wedge for a shoe and socks with a matching dress that's very poofy.
All right, socks is beyond. These are
Anklets?
knee high. I don't know.
Yeah, knee high.
knee
I
high.
can't
Knee-high
see her. I
socks.
can't see her legs.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm wearing leggings and I'm wearing thermals underneath because it's so
Okay.
cold today.
Yeah, it's chilly.
So it is very chilly. Yes.
A poofy dress and
Yes.
some
A
lace.
cardigan
And there's some pearls and
Yes.
bows.
and little wrist cuffs.
Yeah, she's dolled up.
Mm-hmm.
Literally dolled up.
Yes.
What color would you say that is?
Which one? My cardigan?
The whole thing.
Oh,
Color
this
scheme.
is wine.
Wine.
Ooh, the color of a
colored.
fine wine.
Yes.
Red wine.
Mm-hmm.
Wine and black. I was trying to go for Halloween colors, like color scheme.
Not orange.
Well, I did orange already.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't done the red yet.
Well, you look good.
I'm
Thank
feeling
you.
more All Saints Day with the crucifixes and
Oh, maybe.
yeah.
My little bats.
Well, it's just so she doesn't get attacked by vampires.
That's
Yeah.
good. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Gotta watch out for them.
Yep. So we'll get into all that
And
coming up.
more.
Mm-hmm. Right after stuff. Greetings, boys and ghouls. It is I, Count Baldy, with some Halloween tips and ideas for those people who think that they're going to get candy during a pandemic. I was going to share some spooky ideas for costumes, but they told me not to get political. Ha! That was my joke. Okay, so if you do go out this Halloween, remember to wear reflective clothing so people can see you. To be seen is something good on Halloween, so make sure you've got reflective things and maybe just be a ghost with the white sheet. That would be a good costume. I mean, it's a pandemic. What's gonna happen? That's pretty much all I've got. Don't Don't get hit by a car. Ooh, that would be bad. Because then you'd go to the hospital and they've got all that coronavirus everywhere, and that's really spooky. Let me tell you, that's the spooky thing. Huh? That corona, that's really... So stay away from cars running you over, and wear reflective stuff, and don't eat too much sweets and get diabetes. So, there you have a happy and safe Halloween. I'm Count Baldy, and I'll see you on the spooky side.
Let your voice be heard at BOSS.
What's BOSS?
BOSS stands for Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers and serves the single service member community, active, guard, and reserve, as well as single parents, geographical bachelors, all U.S. military service branches, and foreign service members assigned to the installation. The BOSS program is based on quality of life, community service, and recreation and leisure. As a member of BOSS, have a voice in how you live, how you spend your leisure time, and how you support the community around you. BOSS membership and the program's available leadership and project management roles also will enhance your promotion package. For more information about how you can become a BOSS member, visit our website at hood.armymwr.com.
Me, Super Mario. Woohoo! Hello to all my friends at the Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. You're number one.
And we are back, and we are still looking at Brianna's beautiful wine-colored outfit.
Thank you.
A bottle of wine, fruit on the vine.
It's spooky wine.
It is spooky wine.
I have some spiders.
It is. It's
and
spider
webs.
and the lace. The lace is made of spiders. It's not really made.
I'm feeling the lace
web.
bow tie. That's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
She is very lacy, very frilly. Mm-hmm. And in case our voices are not painting enough of a picture for you, we will post a picture on the old social medias for you, so you can get a better idea of what we're seeing. Mm-hmm. So this outfit that you're wearing.
Yes.
It's not just a one-time Halloween thing.
No.
This is something that you're into.
Yes. It's a very big hobby of mine.
Explain.
So, what the fashion that I wear on my off time, when I'm not wearing the uniform, is mainly a Japanese street fashion that originated in Harajuku, Japan.
All right. And what is it called?
It's called Lolita.
Okay. So now we're going to stop. So a lot of people, when they hear the word Lolita, have a misinterpretation of what it means.
Yes.
Lolita actually comes from the novel Lolita, believe it or not.
It does.
And that fashion, have you read the book?
No.
It's actually a very good book.
Yes.
Have you read the book?
I have several times.
Is it because you're into the fashion? Or several times. It wasn't that good of a book.
I read it twice.
Anyway, the name sort of in the East and West divide here because the main character of the book Lolita is infatuated with an underage girl. Mm-hmm. It has a negative connotation in the West.
It does.
In Japan, where they don't really speak English, they just took the word and associated it with this frilly fashion. Yes. So imagine sort of hoop skirts, the big frilly stuff, a lot of lace, and all that, and they called that Lolita fashion. So they borrowed the word cultural appropriation and put it on this fashion.
Actually, no one really even knows where the word originated from. They do believe.
I just told you.
Oh yeah. They just grabbed it because they thought it sounded cute, but they didn't know that it had such a bad meaning in the West.
Yeah. So continue now that we have explained.
Yes. So the fashion is it references the Renaissance period era of the time, and so it's kind of like Victorian and Edwardian styles. So like Charlie mentioned, the hoop skirts and the frills and the lace. But the Japanese interpretation of it, they make it more cutesy because Japan likes to be cutesy.
And it's very modest.
Yes,
as
it's
well.
very modest.
Covering.
Right.
Yes, and there's different sub-styles and categories of the fashion in Lolita fashion. So you have things like classic Lolita, sweet Lolita, that's more pastel, lighter colors. You have gothic Lolita, which is kind of what I'm doing today, is like darker,
Right.
more darker motifs, like the crosses and the bats and the spiders.
Right.
Those are the three main ones. There's tons of different styles of Lolita. There's like steampunk Lolita and things like that. Pretty much anything you can think of, they spin it.
You came here from Japan, PCS here from Camp Zama.
Yes,
right?
I did.
Did you pick this up there, or were you already a proponent or a?
Yes, so I actually picked it up before I went to Japan.
Okay.
I started the fashion when I was at my first duty station in Kansas at Fort Riley.
Really?
So I went to, I went to
and
some
all my time
conventions.
growing up in Kansas, I never saw nothing like that.
Yes, we have to go to the conventions,
Okay.
the anime conventions. People are wearing it, but that was actually the first time I wore Lolita was in Kansas City.
So let me ask you, what got you into it?
So I had my best friend, she still is my best friend today. She used to be in the fashion, and she was leaving it, and she basically gave me the wardrobe that she had. I did pay her a little bit because she paid a lot for it especially back then, like 10 years ago. It was really hard to find the style. There wasn't all these online retailers, and the Japanese brands didn't really cater to Americans at all.
Different sizes.
Yes, different sizes. That they've been changing now and making bigger garments to make it more just accessible around the world now, because it is a global thing. But about 15 years ago, it wasn't. You only really saw it in Asia.
Right.
So yeah, she was leaving the fashion, and so that's how I got into it, actually.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, so I was really enamored with it, and in my mind, I always wanted to go to Japan and wear it. That was one of my life goals, I guess you could say, when I was younger. So,
All right. And did that goal come to fruition?
It did, yes. So I ended up going to Japan, like we've mentioned. So
Did you?
I did it many times. So I was the first time I did it, that was really special, because I had seen photos of Harajuku and the girls and didn't think really I would ever get to do it. I didn't think I'd get to Japan until I was probably 30. So the fact that I got there so young was really exciting.
30.
Yeah.
Huh.
What?
I got to Japan after 30.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't even know if I would still be into it or if it would interest me. Because I don't think if I went to Japan, I would have gotten so into it like I am now. Because I'm pretty overboard with it.
So it was the accessibility that really drew you in more.
Yes. Because I did it infrequently when I was in Kansas and when I was in Korea. There's a lot of Korean girls that wear Lolita fashion also. Mm-hmm.
Really?
So I joined a group.
Because I know Korean culture, especially the younger culture, is really kind of obsessed with image.
They are. And that's part of why I think that fashion works there, because you can get very obsessive with it. There are girls that we call lifestyle Lolitas, and that's where they wear the fashion every day, and they incorporate the ideals of that mindset into their daily lives. So they'll actually impose a lot more rules on themselves.
Wow.
It's
there
excessive.
elitists?
There are.
Really?
There are gatekeepers.
As a reformed otaku,
Yes.
I understand.
Yes, I know you do.
elitism
Yes.
of it all. I was a
It's
very
a lot.
snobby
Otaku.
fan of Japanese animation and comics.
Okay. All right.
I was very snobbish at my peak. Very snobbish.
Ooh, what age?
Maybe 25 or 26.
Yeah, I see that. Yes, and it doesn't help that most people in the fashion are in that age range. It's a lot younger, but because Lolita started it really exploded in the West about 15 years ago.
Really?
Most of the girls the ones
that made it to Kansas.
Yeah. The ones that started it are about in their 40s now.
Wow.
And so it's still a pretty young demographic.
Again, well, yeah, 40s is still pretty young.
Yeah, it is.
Don't give me the eyebrow raise. 40s is very young.
Sure. Yes.
So youthful.
Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of stigma in the fashion and in the community too.
Why
I won't
that?
get.
No, get into it.
Okay, well,
That's
there's a lot
why
of.
you're all dressed up.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of drama. There can be.
Hit us with the Lolita drama. Lolita drama on the Great Big Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess the main one would be people or girls saying that other girls are mean. That's
being a girl.
Mean girls.
I know. Well, it can get more
catty.
A lot of it, yeah. You'll get the baseline cattiness, but it does scare a lot of people away. We have forums where you can post photos of yourself.
Yeah.
With your coordinate. We shorten that to a slang word called cord. So you post your cords on these blogs or in these threads, and people will rate you and give you criticism.
Rate my Lolita.
Yes. So, and people can get pretty savage.
Well, it is
there.
the internet. Nothing good ever came from that.
And it gets a little strange. Sometimes people will, this still happens. This happens every day. People will steal your photos and they will make bad captions or they'll make it seem like you're that person. I've seen people claim that a lot of the girls are actually men and they'll repost them on different blogs or websites.
Oh, what do you think of my dress? I'm a lady.
It's really
I'm a
strange.
beautiful Lolita lady.
Yeah. There's
I
a
would
lot of
do that.
weirdos. No.
I would totally do that.
Taking catfishing to a whole different
they
level.
do. And I don't know why. There are some people, it seems like that's what they do. They just take our photos and they pretend that that's them, but as a man.
But I mean, that happens
very
on
strange.
Facebook. Anyway.
That's true.
All
guess.
these friend requests, and I'm like, who is this person?
Yeah.
You are not
I
this.
don't know.
You are not this person.
It's bizarre, but yeah, and just like any fashion, there's stigma, like how you look, if you're bigger, if you're smaller, if you're too tall for it, if you're too short for it. There used to be a lot of rules, especially in the beginning of the fashion. There's not so much now. It's gotten so much more relaxed because it used to be like you couldn't even show your knees. That they said it was
That is
like
Victorian,
too scandalous. It was very Victorian. Yes.
You said when they rate you, right? Is it kind of like Yelp where it's 1 to 5 or?
No, it's
and then comments on you.
It's more so you say what each piece you're wearing, if it's from a specific brand or where you got it,
right?
And you can include a blurb like I'm going for a gothic Lolita or I'm going for a mix of this, and then people will comment on it from there.
So you got no numerical rating.
No numerical.
Oh, that's
it's
a
just
bummer.
it's the words. The words can be.
Is there
so
a hierarchy?
I wouldn't say there is a hierarchy, but it's more how long you've been in the fashion. So there's a sense of if you've been in it longer, you are more not respected, but how do I say?
Seniority counts.
Seniority, yeah. There's a seniority structure to it.
All right. So how old is too old to be doing Lolita? As far as the community,
right.
what is the feeling?
And that's the thing is everyone differs on all of these opinions. For me, I don't think you can be too old to wear what you like.
Well, yeah, because eventually you just end up looking like an old lady.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. People are really against. Sometimes people get mad if you're wearing the fashion and you appear older because
really?
They'll say, oh well, the point of the fashion is to look young or it's to look doll-like. And if you don't look
I thought that
way,
was dolly fashion.
There is that too. There's a lot of that's like a sub style.
Because you know what?
There's a
you know
whole
what?
nother
Cheryl,
thing.
see everybody
There is.
get in close to their microphones. I'll tell you a secret. Which really doesn't make sense because we're wearing headphones. But
yeah.
When I first met my wife,
Yeah.
she said she was into dolly fashion.
Yes. A lot of Lolitas are into dolly fashion.
I have no idea what that is, but I do remember her telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Salvador.
It's
That'd be it. I like it wearing melting clocks.
Well, a lot of Lolitas consider it to be dolly fashion, the Lolita fashion, but some of them don't.
Interesting.
So dolly fashion is where you focus a lot on your face You want you want your eyes to be those big anime eyes, so you wear circle lenses.
Sure.
You wear like the eyelashes. You just want to look really porcelain like. Try to whiten your face or your body. And you don't really wear Lolita clothes in dolly fashion. You can, but you're supposed to wear like extremely cutesy.
Maybe that's why she married a pasty white guy. I just went with the style.
She was looking for it.
So for you personally, how many years have you been doing this?
Since 2014.
2014. Now you're going to make me do math.
Yeah.
That's
6 years.
6 years.
Coming on 7.
Coming on 7.
How many dresses do you think you have?
So I actually counted the dresses I had when I moved here, because they were all in boxes, right? And I had 61. I have since. So I've been kind of capitalizing on this pandemic because a lot of girls are selling their dresses because they need the money.
Right.
So I've actually this year I've bought the most dresses by far than I have any other year because there's a lot of good deals going around. And I do feel bad because I still, I'm paid by the government, so I don't have to worry about losing my job or, my paycheck. So I am buying more dresses off of girls. So I would say, I would guess I have about 80 now.
Wow. You realize, so I've been here at Fort Hood.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah. I haven't purchased a shirt the entire time I've been here. And you've purchased 80 dresses, and you got here.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. One.
Oh, I did.
Oh, you did?
Embroidered.
That one embroidered.
I gave you
shirt.
the
I'm just
hat.
saying,
You
like
bought the shirt.
I'm just like a casual shirt. Like
Yeah.
where I went to a store and I will wear this shirt and I would look good. Well, no, that's a lie. God, I'm full of lies. I am just a dirty, dirty liar.
Oh, man. How dare you?
I bought the light up sweater.
Yeah, you did.
For the Christmas thing. Yeah. But casual, like clothes that I actually want to wear, nothing. I bought a pair of pants. I bought some underwear, which is good to do. You should do that from time to time.
And you bought boots.
I bought boots and I bought some undershirts. That's what I've purchased in the last 2 years.
Oh, man. I haven't purchased any regular clothes. I call them my normie clothes. I haven't purchased any normie clothes. But I purchased
it's all. How much outside of wearing an army uniform? How much time do you spend wearing Lolita clothes?
I try to wear it at least once a week, usually on the weekends, Saturday or Sunday.
Is it going out, or are you on the couch chillaxing?
Well, lately I haven't been able to get out as much, so I will just wear it in my house. But I try to go out when I wear it because I like to look cute.
Sure. And I do see you on Facebook posting pictures, old and new. You just posted some old ones the other day of you in front of Mount Fuji.
I did, yes.
In that style.
Lolita.
The pumpkin patch was recent.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that was the last thing I've done. Because I'm in school, I don't have a lot of free time right now.
I hear that.
But that was my one day where I was like, I'm gonna wear Lolita. I'm gonna theme it to pumpkins and Halloween. But as of right now, I'm not wearing it as much. But it comes and goes.
And also it's getting wintry here.
Yes.
I can't imagine that's comfortable.
Oh well, I have everything to.
Oh, she's
keep
got
myself warm.
got the hookup.
I gotta ask, because you're
Yes.
engaged. What's the fiance think about the hobby?
He loves it.
Really?
Yes. So, and actually, so my previous, my ex-boyfriend, one of the reasons we did not get along was he did not like my Lolita fashion. Yeah, he wanted me to actually quit it.
He sounds like a jerk.
No, he wasn't a jerk. I think it made him nervous. I think he likes to not stand out from the crowd. He likes to blend in, which I get. Like, I respect
Joining
that.
the army.
Yeah.
Nothing easier to do.
Exactly. So, and I think he was also worried about the misconceptions because it's called Lolita and I look very youthful and girly, and we wouldn't argue too much, but he would get annoyed and say things like, "Oh, I don't want people to think that."
Well, listen, this is Charlie giving some advice at my youthful age of 45, and that is, if you are dating, listen up, listeners, if you are dating someone and they want you to change who you are in order to continue dating them, you should probably not continue dating them.
Yes. And that was one of the reasons why that was one of the red flags. Well, I wouldn't even say it's a red flag because I would say everyone's entitled.
For you, it would be a lacy flag.
Yeah, lacy flag, yes. Yes. I feel Yeah, I mean, I think he was definitely entitled to feel that way because it is different. You know, alternative fashion is, it can be hard to do, and it's hard to navigate your daily world when you look so different. So I respected that, but it is nice.
You
being
respected
with
that all the way to the curb.
Well, yes. Well, and so one of the reasons why I knew that Andy and I would work was because he was so accepting of the fashion.
I gotta ask, has he worn it?
No, but we joke about him wearing it.
Oh boy!
Eventually, I do want to get him into a coordinate.
Now, is there a male version of Lolita fashion?
There is. So we call it Brolita.
Brolita.
Yeah.
Brolita.
It's like bronies.
Yes, it's like bronies. So, well, people don't like to use that term anymore because they think it's now they're saying that it's a negative connotation, but I think it's perfect. It's
Really?
like
What's negative?
Brolitas.
Brolita. It works.
Yeah.
So what does that involve? Is that like?
So it's a man that wears Lolita fashion.
But like frilly and all that, or
Victorian with the cuffs,
the whole 9 yards. So they normally
waistcoats, whatever.
The waistcoats. Yes, they normally. So they will wear a wig because they will usually have boy hair, and they wear. It helps when they wear wrist cuffs because it makes their hands look smaller because their hands are bigger, their shoulders are bigger, so they usually wear coverings. I mean, it's and
so are they wearing dresses?
Yes.
Whoa!
I think there's already a word for that that's not Brolita.
Maybe.
Transvestite.
I don't know. They're not. They don't actually want to change their gender. They just like to dress up.
Well, transvestites don't want to change their gender.
That's true.
You know, Ed Wood. You know who Ed Wood was?
No.
He was a famous director. He's famous for being bad. He's considered the worst director in the history of cinema.
Okay.
Which I've seen some movies recently that challenge that. But he felt most at ease directing when he was wearing Angora sweaters and a skirt.
Okay.
And so he would direct. He's from the 50s,
right,
into the 60s. A lot of monster movies and stuff.
Yeah.
He directed them dressed as a woman because it put him at ease.
Yeah.
Okay,
I love it. I think it's great.
There's a movie called Ed Wood. You should, if you haven't seen
Ed
it.
Wood?
Yeah, starring Johnny Depp as Ed Wood.
Oh, sweet.
It's a fantastic film.
Okay.
But yeah, so people
about a guy that couldn't make good films.
Who likes to dress as a woman.
Yeah.
But he was friends with Bela Lugosi.
Well, okay.
So pulling it back into Halloween.
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting that they dress as women.
Yes, actually, a lot of the photos of when I have, well, a lot of my group photos with my friends, at least one of them is a male, but you can't really tell.
That's very interesting,
isn't it? It's so cool. I love it.
It's interesting, and what's really interesting is for the Victorian times, if that's truly the theme. I mean, men did. There's a Victorian male fashion, the top hat.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was envisioning when you started talking.
Oh, so we do have that. That's called OG fashion.
Oh, gee, you look like you're from
it's
Victorian era.
OUJI.
Okay.
Which is Japanese word, actually.
It's a Japanese word.
It means
so it's
old, like.
So we call it boy style.
Right.
So, and that's a common grouping. A lot of girls, they'll wear Lolita and their friends. Usually it's a girl that wears the boy style, but the boys also can wear boy style. And we do meetups where we flip, where the girls are wearing the boy style and the guys are wearing the Lolita.
So is that like at the skating rink? Everybody reverse.
Yes, it is.
It's a reverse skate.
It's really fun. It's fun to play with gender like that.
That's interesting and so modern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Modern. Well, if I had known that, I might have come in today wearing a dress.
Oh, that would have been great.
Finding one in my size would be a challenge. But I'd do it. I'd do it. Why not?
I do want to get Andy and Lolita.
You should.
He wants to do it like he's not trying to wear it where he is trying to look like a woman. Because both of us have agreed he can't pass as a woman, but he thinks it'd be funny to do it.
Sure he does. It's one of those, I think it'd be funny to do this. This would be real. This would be a hoot.
I have dressed him up on my Animal Crossing island. I gave him some Lolita outfits to wear.
I've seen that. I've dressed as a girl on Animal Crossing. Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Who hasn't? Dave.
Dave has. Yes.
But that's a whole nother topic.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you see the future of Lolita going? Because I know you've met with a Lolita club here in Texas.
I have,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah, they have.
There's a lot of girls in the Metroplex, hundreds actually. I didn't realize the fashion had grown so much. Even in the 4 years I was in Asia, when I came back, the scene was completely different, which is really exciting to see. It's grown so much. I just see it continuing to grow and get even more mainstream. About several times a year, mainstream media people will pick up on it, or they'll dress like it for a day. I've seen a lot of people cover it, so it's definitely spreading and becoming more global, which is really exciting.
Well, that's cool, and that is an interesting facet of your personality.
Yes,
that I am so glad that we've been able to bring out here on the podcast and inform people about, because I think that's very...
And give us a great reason to get her dressed up.
Yeah, I love wearing it. I feel most beautiful when I wear Lolita fashion.
Well, you look
Oh,
good.
thank you.
I find myself to be more of an expert in slob fashion. Speaks to my
I'm
not
pretty
buying
good
clothes
at
in the
that
last 2
too,
years.
actually. You should see me when I'm hour 12 into my schoolwork. It's very slobbish.
I do my schoolwork in a pair of sweatpants and a sweatshirt that is about 7 years old,
Nice.
falling apart.
I do that too, actually. A lot of my normie clothes are really old.
Yeah, us normies.
Yeah.
Us normies got to stick together, Dave.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Speaking of normies and sticking together, here's some PSAs about normal things.
And we'll be back.
That's a transition.
Normal things. Hey, ads are really normal.
Okay, then. Listen to this.
Hey, it's Melissa here from Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions. Now is a great time to stop by and see what furry friends they have waiting for their forever home. Or, down boy, you can follow their Facebook page called Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions. The great thing about pets that come from Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions is, all right now, be good. They're practically free. Well, sometimes they're free. They just need a good mommy or daddy. So stop by Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions. Check the Facebook page of Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions. Or even call Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions at 254-287-4675 to make someone very, very happy.
What is life? What's an honorable discharge? Sounds disgusting. Where'd my filing? Which end of the horse do I stick the carrot in?
Sporky asks a question.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. Sporky here, and I've got a big question. What is OPSEC?
Fork utensil. How is it that you don't know about operational security?
Annie Pumpkin. No need to be so formal. You can call me Sporky. All my friends do. And I know all about poo-poo-poo-poo. But what is OPSEC?
Operational security's OPSEC, fork utensil.
Ooh, maybe it's OPSEC. That's spicy. Where do babies come from?
Fork utensil.
It must have something to do with the military and things. I know. I'll take pictures of stuff all over post and put them on the internet and ask, is this OPSEC? Is this OPSEC?
Fork utensil,
Ooh,
you
it
better
sure
not.
smells like OPSEC.
Look, there are 5 steps to OPSEC.
Oh.
Identifying critical information, identifying the threat,
Yeah.
assessing vulnerabilities,
Oh, yeah.
analyzing the risk,
Forky.
and developing and applying countermeasures.
What?
The
No.
OPSEC is pretty common sense, like not talking about troop movements or other sensitive things.
You mean it's a process by which organizations assess and protect information about things that could, if properly analyzed and grouped with other data by a clever adversary, reveal a bigger picture than ought to stay hidden.
That's exactly right, fork thingy.
Forky.
And like they used to say, loose lips sink ships.
Ooh, I love a good submarine joke, but seriously, where do babies come from?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Practicing good OPSEC is everybody's job. Protect your fellow service members. Don't be a sporky.
Hey Blair went to the movies. Hey Blair went to the movies. Hey Blair went to the movies. And here's what she thinks.
Hey, Blair goes to the movies. Hey, Blair goes to the movies. Hey, Blair goes to the movies. Here's what she thinks. Ba-dum-bum-bum.
And with that,
Yeah, we're back
we're back.
with Blair Dupre,
Yay.
Sentinel Sports and Leisure Editor.
Yes. How y'all doing?
I guess we're talking leisure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Are we going to the movies?
From home.
Oh,
I broke the mic. How do I fix this?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're going to have to hold it.
there we go.
Stuck like Chuck.
Okay.
Dangles.
There we go.
Can y'all hear me still?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
we're good.
So we heard all of it.
You
All
unscrewed
right.
it.
If I scream, it fell.
It falls.
Let everyone know that. Okay. But yeah, I'm still streaming stuff because, I don't know how comfortable I feel at the theaters yet. I'm sure they're doing, taking every kind of precaution they can.
They are. They're taking all the precautions. They're super clean.
Said the guy who got
stuck.
COVID.
I didn't get it from a theater.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, a lot of stuff I feel like isn't really coming out anyway. Like
So
nothing
do the
that
movie
interests me.
theaters.
Yeah. So
It's a rough year for the
sure.
movies.
Mm-hmm, it is.
Yeah, but I streamed The Witches on HBO Max.
Okay.
So
It's an exclusive, isn't it?
Yes, I think they made it with the intention of releasing it into theaters. So I don't think it was an HBO Max thing, but that's just what they chose to
Isn't this
put
a
it on.
remake or something? Somebody else.
It is a remake.
There's an original movie
There is an
starring
original out there.
Angelica Houston.
Okay.
Yeah,
How old was that?
1990.
Wow,
I
look at
watched
her
it
on
for
top
the
of
first
this.
time last night because
Okay.
I had never heard of The Witches. I didn't know it was a
Okay,
thing.
it's a Roald Dahl book.
Yeah, and I loved her in The Addams Family, and I feel like
She played Morticia Addams in the
yes,
Addams
she
Family.
did. Like no one can top that. She can't top herself playing any other role like that. Was the best.
Like you're done. You played Addams.
Yeah,
You're
like,
done.
You did this so good. You can't top yourself. Like that's it. But yeah, it I called my entertainment article in the paper. I called it the remake no one asked for because that's
I
exactly
think that's most of them. You've covered most of them.
yeah, and because I wasn't familiar with the book or the original movie beforehand, so it was interesting to kind of discover all this afterwards.
So,
no bias at least, right?
well,
Yeah.
and now you've seen both movies. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, how does this stand up to the original?
I prefer Anne Hathaway's portrayal of the
Oh,
Grand
really?
High Witch to hers. Like I said, I've seen her play Morticia, so I can't. Nothing tops that in my mind.
Okay.
And Princess Diaries was like my jam, you know. So
love it.
to see Anne Hathaway play something so different from Mia Thermopolis, you know, was great. And I haven't seen her in anything in a long time, so I feel like, I mean, she just reminded me why I like her so much.
Well, she won the Academy Award, dropped the mic, and then took some time off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
She's great.
Yeah. But you definitely I did this throughout the whole movie. My roommate and I had more fun kind of poking fun at the CGI, you know, and kind of like going, oh, that's weird, or, you know, whatever. Because compared to the first one, I was laughing at that because, you know, witches, according to this movie, they're all bald and they wear wigs to cover that.
They're into Lolita fashion.
Yeah. They have really ugly, gross hands with claws, so they wear gloves, and they have no toes. It's like their toes were kind of just cut off their feet, and that's where their feet end.
Whoa.
So they don't wear pointed shoes. That's in the original. In the new one, it's the same, except obviously there's less prosthetic where all of their, like, you know, and from wearing the wigs, their scalp gets irritated, so they have rashes. It's all CGI'd.
CGI rashes?
Yes. And in the new one, they didn't say this in the old one. I just remembered. In the new one, it's almost like they have a Joker smile.
I noticed that.
Yeah. And that's CGI'd as well.
Really?
Which is...
It's almost like they were all, we'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post.
Right.
We'll add it in
Did
post.
they not have like a makeup team or hair or costumes?
Maybe it was a
think
Corona
it's just-
thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know
They
how
shot
much
what they
that
shot
cost.
and then said, okay.
Did it look okay?
Well, no. I mean, they don't want people to get close to them and touch them because of the coronavirus.
Could be.
I feel like compared to the prosthetics they had them put on in the first one, but I think all of their CGI concentration or budget or whatever went to their faces.
Or
because,
Anne Hathaway's salary.
Yes, because
I'm sure.
The mice, the kids get turned into mice. The mice had eyebrows. Which the actor they had play the main character as a child. They have Chris Rock narrate the movie as an older version of the main character. But you never actually see Chris Rock in person. So there's that. But the young boy that plays the main character was a good actor. He just wasn't super expressive. But then when he turns into the mouse, he's super expressive. So it kind of didn't flow there. Octavia Spencer plays his grandmother. She was great. I loved her. And in this movie, compared to the first one takes place in Europe, I believe in England, but Europe for sure. This one takes place, the new one takes place in 1960s Alabama.
That's why would they change it so much?
Why can't Alabama have witches?
Yeah, well, I just remember like the iconic like castle scene where they all file in to like the church and the boys hiding in the confessional. Like that's what I think of when I see.
Why can't Alabama have castles?
This was like
it's not as ominous feeling.
Have you ever been to Alabama?
No.
No.
Yeah,
you get ominous. Is it ominous to go there? Should I be worried?
This one was like a really grand, like if you think of a southern like estate, like a huge southern mansion,
like a plantation.
Yes, that's what this was. It was huge, gorgeous house, and so, I mean, the only thing that didn't make sense is because the Grand High Witch Anne Hathaway had an accent, which they said she was born in Norway. I don't remember. They said she hatched out of an egg or something crazy, but that's what it was. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me a witch that I assume lives in Norway and is from Norway and just has access to several venues in Europe for her witch convention is going to come to Alabama in the U.S. and have her convention here.
Sure. Why can't Alabama have witches conventions?
I mean,
it's like we got
maybe Vegas was booked.
We got the anti-Alabama crowd here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a gorgeous place, but I mean that was just kind of me and my roommate thought about it later, and we were like, yeah, if I lived in Europe, and Europe is.
Well, think about it this way.
Alabama in the 60s, right? That's when it's set.
Think about it this way.
They probably met Forrest Gump. That's why they went.
If you live in Norway, Alabama is excessively exotic.
That's true.
That's true.
So Norway is
not
normal.
to mention downright tropical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But mainly the CGI is what we kept paying attention to, and I liked the story. I feel like, letting kids watch this is kind of iffy. It just depends on what bugs your kids, because I feel like the CGI and the smile and the teeth they give her can make Anne Hathaway look kind of scary. So, it's just because it's PG, I wouldn't just throw your kids in a room and say, okay, here you go. But
good for teens, not for little ones.
Yeah, I'd say like, no younger than 10 probably.
I mean, yeah, but that would involve actual parenting. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. But like, and another difference was in the original, they had all 5 fingers, the witches.
Mm-hmm.
In the new one, they CGI'd their ring finger and their middle finger out, so they only had 3.
Ah,
and
very witchy.
That's like this is what they look like. And they had claws and all that on their hand. And actually, at one point when they're clapping, they just like click their nails together.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So I feel like Anne Hathaway's portrayal of the Grand High Witch, she was maybe a little more sassy, which I liked. And their fashion was always on point.
Yes, that's what I love about the witches.
I mean, in this new one, on point, always.
Oh, that's awesome.
Always. So another scene that bugged me, and if y'all are familiar with the original, it happened in the original. The main character, his friends, and his grandma put the mouse maker potion into the witch's soup.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that.
Such an iconic scene, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
they're all freaking out.
There's regular people sitting in this room that all the witches are eating the soup in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In this one, the Grand High Witch does not eat the soup, like in the original.
Mm-hmm.
The original just kind of ends there. The Grand High Witch does not eat the soup in the new one.
Huh.
But while the Grand High Witch is distracted and the other women are eating the soup, all of a sudden this one witch spontaneously combusts. Okay? I'm talking explodes and flies across the room and turns into a rat. Okay? All of the normal people in this room see this, obviously, because it's an open room. And they just look disgusted, like, how dare you interrupt our lunch, And then another woman spontaneously combusts and flies across the room. And it's the same thing. No one moves. No one says anything. They're just staring in complete disgust, okay?
Well,
not concern, disgust.
have you ever been to Alabama?
No.
Well, there you go.
I can't say I've had the pleasure.
Ruin my lunch. How dare you?
This is kind of normal. It's southern. It's a southern thing.
Still.
Rats flying across the
room.
room.
I feel like I'm not from Alabama, but as a southern Texas woman, I feel like if someone exploded and flew across the room, I'd be a little concerned.
Yeah, you stop eating.
Instead of just disgusted that you interrupted my lunch. They didn't freak out until a rat landed in the middle of all their tables. And then they panicked. And I was like,
weird.
Y'all, did you not see all the women exploding across the room?
Yeah.
So, I mean, me and my roommate that's how it entertained us. We were just like, why are these people doing this? Why does the CGI do this? Why is the CGI making Anne Hathaway's nose expand? Whatever, which they said the witch's nostrils can expand up to 8 inches so they can smell children. Yeah.
Nice.
Gotta get the children.
Interesting. So, as a Halloween film, because it's Halloween themed, how would you say it sits in the pantheon of Halloween?
See, okay. It just depends. Because it's technically not a Halloween movie. Nothing in this movie takes place on Halloween.
No, but it's got witches.
Halloween is not brought up.
witches.
Yes, but it's got witches. So it definitely is not one of my top that I would like actively seek out.
Beetlejuice, it ain't.
What about the original one? Would you still watch it? No.
So, if you were seeking out a spooky Halloween movie, what would be at the top of your list?
I like watching the old Alfred Hitchcock movies.
Okay.
So like The Bird, Psycho, what's the other one? The Rear Window. I love that one. Newer-ish ones. I enjoyed Sweeney Todd, which I know is a musical. For people that don't like musicals, sorry. I don't do all the like gory Saw or all that stuff. It's just not my thing.
I don't watch that.
I don't do the like Insidious or the whatever
psychological thrillers.
Just like, I don't know, that stuff kind of like weirds me out. But like I love The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
What else? They play all the Hotel Transylvania movies. I love those. What else do they play? I mean, Sweeney Todd's probably the most gory thing that I would watch because it is gory.
And what about you, Brianna? Top Halloween or spooky, a movie to watch on Halloween. It doesn't have to be Halloween themed. It doesn't have to be The Great Pumpkin.
Yeah.
But
they're not streaming that this year.
No, they're not.
Sadly.
It's on Apple TV.
Yeah, Apple got right. So
oh man,
Charles
that must
Schultz
be nice.
rolling in his grave.
I always think
Very
of like
Halloween
the Headless
themed.
Horseman.
So
like
Sleepy
the
Hollow?
Sleepy Hollow.
Or the Disney version, the animated version.
The animated, because I'm with Blair. I don't really like scary movies.
Okay.
I wouldn't watch horror movies. Like I don't watch like The Grudge or anything spooky
Really?
like that.
My wife will not watch The Grudge.
I can't.
Freaks her out.
Yeah. I would watch the lighthearted movies, the
Really?
Disney, the animations. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. And I don't even really like Sweeney Todd, to be honest. I mean, I do like it. I love the song, but like the gore and the killing is ugh.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. But I don't mind watching even like a lot of people don't like this genre, but it's like the comedy horror, like the scare movies.
Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I love those. So I like that they're scary, but because there's comedy, I'm not scared for a
Okay.
long time. Because like it and psychological things like that, I do think about them for several weeks, and I have a hard time sleeping.
Oh wow.
And I live alone, so no.
I would say for me, a scary movie for Halloween, the original Shining.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a scary
Yeah.
one.
The Shining.
I have not watched that all the way through.
Really?
It scares me.
And I liked the
It's such a
sequel
good movie.
as well.
I just watch clips of it.
Really?
I get
it's a
scared.
fantastic
I get
movie.
scared so easily.
I'll tell you, my wife gets scared easily. If I turn on a movie and it looks like it's going to be a scary movie, I get the elbow. What are you doing?
Yeah,
What are
I
you
do
doing?
too.
Right.
I can't even watch trailers. A
But-
trailer will scare me for a week.
The Shining, we watched, and then the next day when I was at work, she watched it again.
Wow.
She was that taken with it.
Oh yeah.
So it's a good movie, but it is scary. It's very realistically scary.
Right.
What about you, Dave?
Dawn of the Dead.
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
Yeah. She said Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, I mean, I got it on DVD. I had it on video. I've watched that thing probably 24 times
Nice.
at home. Saw it in the theater when it came out. The opening scene, it's in Milwaukee. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead
I didn't
starts
know
off
that.
in it's a suburb of Milwaukee. That whole shot scene where the first people get killed. It's like, that's my hometown. So yeah, it's
That's
my favorite just for that.
Mallrats. Do you guys know the movie Mallrats? Kevin
No.
Smith? Anyone? Kevin Smith.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Well, times sure have
I mean,
changed.
Clerks,
Anyway,
but
Kevin
whatever.
Smith at one time was an up-and-coming young director who was making waves, and he made the movie Clerks, which was very big on the indie scene.
Right.
And then he followed that up with a movie called Mallrats, which was an ode to 80s teen movies. But it was shot at a mall near where I lived. So, you could go to the mall and see the mall from, this is the escalator they went up. This is this is that. That's cool to go to locations where things were filmed.
Yep.
That's cool.
There's a lot of movies made in Austin now.
Yeah, it's become quite the
Surprising.
hub.
Surprising.
Quite the hub. Well, hey, I want to thank you for being on, Blair, and not going to the movies.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Maybe
Not
next
yet.
time, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
Blair
maybe.
stayed at home.
You only got two more months to go for
Yeah,
2020, right?
Yeah, and it's Christmas season, and that's when I go hardcore Christmas. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I love Christmas
yeah.
too.
Like
Well-
November 1st is Christmas time.
Well, we are going to have you on for a big list of Christmas movies, go-to Christmas movies.
I ought to just
Absolutely.
watch all the like new Hallmark movies they put out. 'Cause
Maybe we won't have you.
it's definitely a quantity over quality thing.
All right. Well, I guess we are going to take a break really quick, and then we'll be back with some parting shot thoughts. What? All right. So listen to this and, do what you're going to do. Where do you go to get the latest news from Fort Hood, Texas?
The Fort Hood Sentinel.
And where do you go if you want ideas for things to do in Central Texas?
The Fort Hood Sentinel.
What if you don't have a copy of the Fort Hood Sentinel?
Then I go to my local newsstand and pick up a copy, or go online to www.forthoodsentinel.com.
The Fort Hood Sentinel, Fort Hood's premier place for news and Central Texas information. Standing watch since 1942.
Fort Hood's great big podcast. Close enough for the government, good enough for you.
All right, and we are back.
Yeah.
Yep. Final segment of the show. Woo!
We made it to the end of another episode. No, I'm excited because we've been almost doing this for a year.
We thought this one might have been your last show, but we're actually going to bring you back.
I got bumped.
Yeah.
I got bumped. I got the COVID bump. Bumping everything.
Yeah.
One more time.
One more time.
At least.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We got Halloween.
We do.
That's coming up just in a couple days. Mm-hmm. And then what's the big thing? What holiday do we have after Halloween?
Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Well, wait a minute. Veterans Day first.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Veterans Day. Salute to our troops. As a reminder, Veterans Day is for the troops that are still with us, that are serving or who have served. Memorial Day is for the troops who have passed.
Yes.
So Veterans Day, thank a veteran.
I always do the Toby Keith thing, even though I'm not a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some gave, all gave some.
Yeah.
It's the all gave some.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was a song about taxes.
Yeah. No.
No? Okay. Now, I was listening to another podcast, a lesser podcast, and they were talking about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And they said something interesting, and I wanted to get your takes on this for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So my family, traditionally, we have the meal.
Right.
We are not 6 feet away from each other. We are in there. But immediately after we eat, the table is cleared. Sometimes it's not even cleared, but the pies come in. The desserts come in. So it's meal, boom, dessert.
Oh.
And then you come back, maybe get more meal and more dessert later. Dave, you're saying no. Is there a pause?
Oh, yeah.
For
a couple
desserts?
hours. Easy. 'Cause,
Really?
Oh, yeah. Stuffed. Yeah.
Stuff? What about you, Brianna? Is there a pause for dessert, or is it right into dessert?
It's right into dessert.
See, for me, I find the pause frightening because I think the whole idea is you rush through the meal so that you can throw that dessert on top. And before your body realizes, oh my gosh, I should have stopped eating 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
If I give it time, it's going to realize what's happening and revolt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I worry about.
Yep.
That's funny.
You're saying the 2-hour thing works?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, most big meals, or if we have somebody over or whatever, there's usually a pause, at least a half hour.
So what happens during that pause? Vegging out,
you're having
TV?
coffee, whatever, you're talking.
You're talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't do that.
You don't talk?
No, we just go straight into the dessert. There's no pause.
Now your family's kind of Hawaiian-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
dad.
what are the desserts? Do you have an interesting Thanksgiving, or is it more tradition?
It's so my mom is the one that cooks, and she's not Hawaiian.
Mm-hmm.
So she always cooks the pumpkin pies, and she makes a really good pistachio pudding pie.
Ooh,
that's like
I've never had that.
That sounds good.
It's
really good.
so good. It's actually my favorite dessert of all time. And she would only make it for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the big deal. And they had pecan pie sometimes. And we'd have ice cream and things like that. But the pistachio pie was where it was at.
We were pumpkin pie, pecan pie. Notice she says pecan. I say pecan.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. I always, anytime anybody says pecan, I've given them the side eye. But yeah, pumpkin, pecan, sometimes rhubarb.
Right.
Nice.
Pie. And my brain's telling me banana pudding sometimes. You know, with the vanilla wafers on top?
Yes.
Maybe. What about you, Dave? Traditional?
pumpkin or pecan, but the church we were with for a lot of years, it was a fundraiser for them, right? And you would order and you'd pick it up from a bookstore, a huge chain bookstore. And what it was a huge chain restaurant that specializes in cheesecake.
Oh, almost with a conveyor belt, like
almost,
a factory.
Yeah, almost like
of.
a factory. Well, anyway,
okay.
it was pumpkin cheesecake.
Wow, that sounds good.
Ooh.
And we would get that, like, for years we were getting it.
Oh,
and
that sounds
then they stopped doing it. And it was like, okay, now I got to go drive to Austin to actually have it. We don't do that on Thanksgiving. And if you get it in the freezer section, sorry, it ain't the same.
It's not the same.
But that was a awesome tradition.
The wife may or may not want to, well, she does, visit that factory place that may or may not produce cheesecake before we head to
Wise
Japan.
decision.
That was our anniversary.
Where's the
this
closest? Where, if there was one such restaurant near here?
North
where is
Austin.
it? North Austin.
It's an hour drive.
All right, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's an hour
I
drive
went to
from
that
right
one.
here. It takes you an hour to get there.
All right, so for me in Temple, that's like 20 minutes off.
50.
Wow.
50
Yeah.
minutes.
Very good. Well, I think we've come to the end of the show with that, talking about food, because I'm hungry now.
Yeah,
I'm
I
hungry
am.
too.
I'm hungry,
Is
and
it-
I've
is it getting that
brought a
time?
salad for lunch, so
Yeah.
that's going to be
Yummy.
disappointing.
It's time for This is like the candy week.
It is candy
Get
week.
all the candy.
I like that. I like that idea.
Candy
Candy,
week.
week. I'm stealing that for something.
What's your favorite candy?
For Halloween or just in general?
Just in general.
In general, I love anything chocolate.
Yeah.
Anything
So
chocolate.
good.
Who doesn't love chocolate?
Chocolate and peanut butter.
I like chocolate.
It's in a cup shape.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See where
That's
you're
where
going
it's
with
at.
that. Although there was somebody I ran across recently that actually liked to, as in the old ads, dip a chocolate bar into a jar
of peanut butter.
Oh,
Have you done
that's
that?
Crazy.
I've not.
I've never
I've
done
heard
that.
good things,
Should.
though. I've heard good things.
It's great with crunchy peanut butter.
Ooh, I bet. That sounds so good. Now I want food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you-
see, well,
we
let's,
gotta eat, man.
Let's
Yeah, I
wrap this
know.
thing up. Hey,
No
everybody.
candy corn.
Thanks
Don't
for
eat those
sticking
candy
around.
corns.
All right, be quiet. We're trying to end
okay,
here.
okay.
Trying to leave.
You know, happy Halloween and all
Yeah,
that.
Yes.
Ooh, don't get
Be
too
spooky,
scared.
be safe.
Be spooky, be safe. Listen to Count Baldy. And
Wear a mask
Yes.
when
wear
you're
a
trick or
mask.
treating.
All that spay and neuter cats and
6
dogs.
to 8 p.m. on Fort Hood.
Hey, and remember to vote.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's very
Vote.
soon.
Do everything.
Your time to vote. Voting early ends on Friday.
Yeah, so you can just vote normally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, I'm trying. We're
But
trying
if you
to
want to
end this
vote
thing.
early,
All
okay.
right.
I cannot end the show today.
Do all the things and then some.
Yes, and remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Driving down the road again. Tar starts thinning and cracks crumble to gravel lines. Just on the track.